Hello everyone, welcome again to another tutorial. So today I have a new video, new tutorial, step by step for you guys to see. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's super easy to follow. Let's get into it. So today we are going to work with different sizes of pearls over here on my table, okay? I have different sizes here. Let me put them together. They all mix. Okay, now we have 8mm here, 10mm, 12mm, and 16mm pearls. 8, 10, 12mm, and 16mm. So I have here too, I'm going to use 6mm metallic bead. That's what I'm going to use. I have my fishing line over here, 50-pound beading wire, and I have my plier to cut any loose thread. So on my line here, I'm going to thread on 11 beads. I'm going to thread 11 on it. Like this. This is 11 bead I thread on my line. And I'm going to hold one end of my line and go through the last bead and pull. Like this. So we have a little ring over here. This is how it's looking like. This is where my line is. It's in one bead. Okay. Now on this line I'm threading 4 bead. I'm going to go through and pull like this. So this line into the next bead. And now my line is in 2 bead. Okay, these 2 bead, 1, 2, my line is in that bead. So I'm adding 3 bead. Like this. This line into the next bead. I'm adding 3 bead over here. This is 3. I'm going to go through the next bead. This line, 3 bead. This line into the next bead. And I'm adding 3 bead to my other line. I'm going to go through the next bead again. And I'll be adding 3 bead. I added 3 bead to the line, and we are going to go through each and every bead over here, add 3 until you complete the circle. I'm just adding the bead, 3 bead, going through all the bead, and here I am. I'm going to go through my last bead on the ring, okay? The ring that we made, this is the last bead over here. I'm going to go through. So now my line is in that bead. I'm going to go through the middle and the side bead. I'm going through the middle bead over here, and I'm going to go through the side bead. Now my line is in 3 bead, okay? Because each circle takes 5 bead. Now my line is in 3 bead. Like this. This is where your line should be. And over here I'll be adding 2 beads to complete this first round. The first step, I'm going to end in 2 beads. If you are ending in 1 bead, that means you made mistake somewhere. So 2 beads, okay? And this is how it should look like. This is where the circle should look like. This is the first step that we are going to build on. Okay, you have something like this. Now let's continue. I'm going to add 3 beads on my line. 3 beads. And I'm going to cross my other line into the last bead and pull. I'm going to go through this line into the next bead. And I'll be adding 2 beads over here. 2 beads. This line into the next bead. Two bead. Add 2 beads to your other line. I'm going to cross and pull into the next bead. I'm adding 2 beads over here. Next bead. Add 2 beads. So this is how it's looking. You see how it's curling? Don't panic if you see something like this. It's going to straighten up as we continue to weave. So we are going to go through all these beads, each and every bead, and add 2 beads. I'm adding 2 beads over here. Next bead. Don't panic if you see it curling on you, okay? It's going to curl, but it's going to become straight again. 2 bead. So we are going to go through each and every bead until we close this step. But now my line is short, so I'm just going to weave this little line into the bead, trim it off, and use a fresh new thread to continue. So I'm putting my line through the bead and I'm going to continue from here. I'm going to add 2 beads. And I'm crossing it with my other line. Now into the next bead, add 2 beads. Into the next bead, I want it to continue and close, okay? So this is how it's looking like if you close it. This is how yours should look like. And now I'm going to go through my last bead to step up. So I'm going to go through this middle bead. This is the last circle that I'm going to go through. So I'm going to go through the middle bead and the side bead, like how we did for the first step, okay? So we can step up and build on this one. So I'm going through my middle bead and the side bead. And I'm going to continue over here. I'm ending in 1 bead. Not 2 beads, but 1 bead, okay? So this is what you're supposed to have, okay? Like this is how it's looking like. Okay, now let's continue with our weaving. Just make sure you push it down very well. And now I'm adding 3 beads to start with. Okay, this is 3 beads. I add to my line. I'm going to go through the next bead and add 2 beads. This is the first. I'm going to go through the next bead. I'm going to add 2 beads over here. This line, 2 beads. Into the next bead. Two bead. And we are going to go through each bead like how we did for the first row. We are going to go through each bead round and add 2 bead to it, okay? So over here I'm going to do it a little faster. So I'm going through each bead into the next bead, add 2 bead. So you to continue to do yours at your pace, and we meet right back over here. So continue. This is how it's looking like. We are going to continue all around. And now I'm going to go through my last bead and step up again and build on it. I'm going to go through this middle bead over here. Okay, this is the middle bead I'm going to go through. This one and the side one. Go through this and the side one. And this is how your line should look into 3 bead, okay? Now we are going to end with 1 bead. This step you end in 1 bead, not 2 bead. So this is how the basket, little basket, is looking like. We are going to build on it again. So total we are going to make 4 rows, okay? I'm going to start this one with 3. Then we are going to continue the same way we are weaving. I'm going to go through the next bead. I'm adding 2 bead. Now into the next bead, we are going to continue build on it and build. I'm going to do 4 rows on this one. Make it 4 rows. This is how it's looking like. I build on it. This is 4 rows that I did. This is how the basket is looking. You see how it comes together? Now we have to continue. We are going to continue. This is the back of it. This is the side. 4 rows, okay? I built 4 rows. This is the first step we did, and we continue to build on it. Now we are going to step up with 10mm pearls. This is my 10mm we are going to use to continue our basket. This is my line in 1 bead, okay? And I'm adding 3 bead to my line. I'm going to cross and pull. Now into the next bead. I'm going through the next bead. And I'm adding 2 bead over here. 2 bead. Go to the next bead. this line, 2 bead. Two bead. I'm going to go through the next bead and I'm adding 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. We are going to do the same thing we did for these 4 rows. We are going to build on it the same way we weave, okay? So I'm going to go through this and pull. Now my line is short over here again. I'm going to weave it back into the basket and trim it off. Then I'll start again with a fresh new thread. This is my line. I'm going to go through this and this one. I'm going through this bead over here, pull it through, and the top bead. Then I'll continue with my weaving. Add 2 bead. So this is what we are going to continue to do. Continue into the next bead, add 2 bead. We are going to continue the same way we did for the first 4 rows, okay? So go through and add 2 bead. This is how the start is looking like, and I'm going to continue to finish, complete it, and do another roll on it. I'm just going through each bead and adding 2 bead over here. Make sure you are counting your bead well. If you are not counting well, you are not going to get the right size of it. So I'm going to complete this one and build on it again. This first roll is complete, and I'm starting my second roll again. This is the second row. I'm going to go through the next bead. And I'll add my 2 bead. Now I'm going to go through my next bead again. And I'll be adding 2 bead to my other line. 2 bead, okay? Now into the next bead, I'm adding 2 bead. I'm going to go through the next. Two bead. Next bead. This is how it's looking like. This is the weave. We are going to continue the same way and complete this row. Okay, so we are going to continue and complete. This is how it's looking like so far. Very pretty. And now I complete my second row, and I'm going to continue again with another size of bead. This is how the basket is looking like. So this is my 12mm I'm going to use to continue with this one. So I'm going to start this row with threading 3 bead on the line. 3 bead. And I'm crossing my other line into the last bead and pull. Into the next bead. Two bead. next line into the next bead. I'm adding 2 beads over here. I'm going to go through the next bead again, into the next bead, 2 beads. I'm going to go to the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 beads again. I go to the next bead. So over here we are using the same pattern too to complete. This is the same weave, and I'm going to complete this round and build another round on it. You are going to make 2 rows with this 12mm. Now I complete. I'm going to start with the 16mm. Okay, so this is 16mm. I'm going to start with, so I'm going to thread 3 on the line to start with. I'm going to start with 3, threading 3 on my line, and I'm going to cross my line into the last one and pull down. So we are starting the first row. So with this 16mm, I'm going to make 3 rows. I'm going to go round 1, build on it, and make another row again to make 3 rows. Okay, so we are going to do the same weave we are using. I'm going to go through the next bead over here and add 2 beads. This is what we are going to repeat until we complete the 3rd row. I'm going to do some for you to see, then I'll complete the rest off camera. Okay, so you continue to do yours and I'll do mine off camera. I'm just going through the bead one by one, each bead on the top, and I'm adding 2 beads to make my other line. This is how the weave is looking like. I'm going to continue and complete. So this is the 3rd row I build on it. Okay, look at how pretty it's looking like. So this is what we are going to do over here. We are going to count down over here. Okay, so what we are going to do from here, I'm going to continue with the 12mm. We are going to count down. I'm going to count on 12, then followed by 10, and followed by 8mm. That's what we are going to do over here. We are going to count down. I'm going to add, this is my 12mm. I'm going to use this 12mm. We'll put over here. This is this over here. We are going to repeat the same thing on the other side, followed by 10 and followed by 8mm. So I'm going to do 12. Start with 12mm, 10mm, and we continue with the 8mm. That's all we are going to do. So we are going to count down and complete our vase. So let me start with you. Put the line through this bead, 1 bead over here. I'm going to set it down. Now we are going to start building our 12mm. I'm threading 3 on the line, like this. This is 3 beads I thread on my line, and I'm going to cross the last one with my other line and pull. I'm going to go through the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 beads. What we are going to do from this stage is we are going to count down. Okay, so we start with 12. We are going to continue with 10 and continue with our 8mm. So I'm using the 8mm on the edge over here, and we are going to go round 2 times. I'm going to my next bead and adding 2 beads. This is how the weave is looking like so far. Very beautiful, very pretty vase. It's going to turn out right. So I'm continuing with my weaving into the next bead. Then I'll be adding 2 beads over here. The same weave, the same pattern. That's what we are going to use. Go to the next bead, add 2 beads. I'm going to go around and complete the vase. Over here my line is getting finished again, so I'm just going to whip it back into the bead. Then I continue with a fresh line. Okay, I put a new fresh line through. Then I'm continuing with my weaving. This is a very beautiful vase. You can use it for flower vase, your home decor, whatever you want to use it for. On your side table, that would be beautiful too. So pretty. You can make it yourself or make it as a gift for your friend or somebody that you love. Two beads. And now I'm going to go through my last bead over here, which is the middle bead and the side bead. So I'm going through the middle bead over here, come through the side bead, and the number of bead I'm going to need over here to complete the edge, 1 bead. Only 1 bead, okay? If you are completing with 2, that means you make a mistake somewhere. So complete with 1 bead and we will do the edge. This is how it's looking like so far. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Now we are going to do the edge with this metallic gold bead. This is 6mm metallic gold bead. I'm going to finish the edge with. So I'm going to thread on 6 beads on the line. This is 6. Go to the last bead and pull. I'm going to go through the next bead. And I'll be adding 4 beads. I'm going to go to the next bead. I'm adding 5 bead. I'm going to go to the next bead again and add 4 bead. The idea over here, we want the edge to curl, okay, like a flower. It's not going to be straight, so if you see it curling, it's normal. That is how we want it to be, okay? It's not going to be straight. So I'm going to the next bead and I'm adding 5 bead. I'm going to go to the next one. And I'll be adding 4 bead. Into the next bead. 5 bead. So we want the edge to curl in, okay, not a straight edge. So we are going through, add 4 bead. So when you go through each, add 5, 4, 5, 4. That's what we are going to pick. I'm going to go through the next one, 5 bead. Now into the next bead, 4 bead. So we are going to do the same thing, repeat this and complete, okay? I'm going to go to the next one and add 5 bead. This is all we'll repeat until we complete the edge. Now I'm coming to the finish end. Over here, my thread is getting finished. So I tie over here. I'm tying in between this bead over here. I'm going to tie. Make sure my knot is in between 2 beads, okay? Don't tie on the bead. Tie in between the bead. So I tie this line over here and I'm going to weave the rest of these ones into the bead and trim it off. So now I'm going to get a new fresh line over here. Pull it through. The reason why I cut the line a little bit longer, I'm going to weave the rest of the line deep into the vase and make sure it's well secured. That's why I cut it long. 4 bead, okay? This is the same thing we are repeating and we are going to continue like that and finish and complete the edge. I'm going to go through the next bead and I add my 5 bead. So this is the last one we are coming through over here. I'm going to go through my last bead on the edge and I'm going to go through this bead, these 2 bead over here, these 2 metallic bead. I'm coming up and I'm going to add 4 bead. 4 bead. Yeah, this is how it's looking like. So we complete. This is how the edge is looking like. You see, it curves in. It's not a straight edge. This is how it's supposed to look like. This is what it's supposed to be. You don't want a straight edge. So when you pick your bead right, you're going to get it. This is how the vase is looking like. Very, very beautiful, very pretty, very beautiful. Let me measure it for you guys to see the measurement of it. So from edge here, it's like 10.5, yeah, 10.5 inches long, or 10.5 inches. And the width, that's 21 inches over there. That's, let me tighten a little bit. Yeah, there. Okay, 21 inches. That's 21. So it's a very big vase. It's big, a little bit bigger. Very big. That's the size you guys see. So here is the little stand I made for the vase. I made with the 6mm metallic bead in a square form that I can put a vase on it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I will see you again in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and also share to your friends and family. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.